Hello and welcome to the X and One Legion cast. We are in a new Legion world. Join us as we transition across the threshold of time and space into a new galaxy far, far away.
Wow.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
I'm doing great. I'm jazzed after that intro. Now I feel like we're
Yeah, I felt like a spotlight was like shining down on me.
Yeah, it's like we're actually doing something
that's
important.
AMG giving us love. That's what that was. Yeah.
So we'll just say it. A lot of things happened over the weekend. We were Mitch and I were at Lone Star Open with Zane, the TO, and we were having a great time there, watching streams, going cool. This is our last GT with this stuff, and it was a great time. So that will be our main topic, but we will talk about Ministrav a little bit. But we're gonna save the deep dive on the rules and stuff after we've actually played a game or two. I know Mitchum, I, and Matt have been building some lists like crazy, and I'm sure ours, like your all Discord channels, have just been flying off the handle. So it'll be pretty cool. But before we go too far, have you guys been able to paint anything? I got a hobby harass you.
There's so much more I can paint now because there's so many models I can add to a unit, so I get to paint all my extra guys. No, I haven't been painting. I'm still at 46 of 52 on the year. I have my Bad Batch primed and dry brushed. I did not bring them to LSO. I brought Randy's list, and I ended up doing pretty good with it, so I can't complain. But yeah,
you're welcome.
I'm gonna try to get back into painting to get my 52 done. I got to start studying for a big test for my professional career, so my painting time will be limited. But hopefully, I can still get 6 models done in 6 months. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I just took stuff that I already had painted with me to LSO, and it was all good. So
good thing you've been painting so much then.
Yeah, good thing I got it done in the first half of the year because I wouldn't have been able to do it the second half of the year for sure. So
yeah, I've done no painting. I've done a lot of buying. I got more upgrades. Clone Commandos. I got another Rex. It's going crazy over here. I'm just drowning in plastic. It's like I have 1,000 points. Like I can double the size of my core units. Like so, I'm freaking out. So I was maybe thought I was done painting clones. I'm not. I need at least 2 more boxes of Wookiees to play Wookiees again.
Oh man.
My 3D printer stopped working. I got that fixed, but so we're about to get ready to work. But yeah, right now
I'm thinking about buying a whole other Echo-based Defenders box as well, just for the value of getting
4 Mark IIs.
Yeah, getting all the Mark IIs I ever need. You know, because detachment, I could bring 6 core if I want, or 9, 12 if I want to.
It's like hobby, hobby
Zane
coming.
Is just lost.
Yeah. He's like
1,000 points, baby.
What?
What?
Yeah, detachment doesn't count towards Force Org anymore. So you can bring 6
so you can take a vet
squads.
Mark II.
Yeah,
that doesn't count toward your
Mark II
maximum.
6 times. So you can bring 12 core. And same with snipers as well. So like strike teams are detachment.
Strike teams have to come.
Strike teams are a detachment of commando.
So 501st, you could take four full arcs and 4 arc strike teams, and that would count in your Force Org.
My God.
Yeah.
So for those of you listening that are wondering why I don't know any of this stuff, I purposely kept myself in the dark for Lone Star because we would be using the old rules. I was like, I don't want to know anything new. I don't want to know anything new. I don't want to make any of that impair where I'm trying to go this weekend. So
Yep.
Yeah, we had a 3-hour drive back home, and so it was just us reading the rules, going, "What, you can do this? No, wait, actually you can't. Oh, wait, you can."
Yeah. How does Gen Zero work again? Oh, well, that's a cool mission.
Well, that's gone.
Yeah, that's gone. Oh wow, Obi-Wan's super cracked now. You know, and like.
Oh wait, no, he's terrible. Oh wait, he might actually be awesome.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see. I am at 28 out of 60. I painted my bombs for LSO. I did not get to use them, even though I played Bombing Run, and now I'll never need them again. Though our in our Discord, I think James Russell and Drew had been talking about using the old token markers for objectives on the POIs as like a terrain POI piece. So looks like a good idea.
Yeah, and they looked great. They looked great.
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking about it because I've got,
everyone's got those.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook that someone was using like a 2-inch base, and then they had like the intercept the transmissions little keypad thing in the middle. Just like a 2-inch base on it
just
and
like
everything.
that.
Just to kind of add some flavor to it and just kind of make it look, because it's got a silhouette now. So
yeah, it's got a silhouette. You can't land on it.
You can't land on it. So.
Yeah, so it's nice. So.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yep.
Very cool. We got a lot of hobby coming up for the hobby harassment. I was starting to worry that we were kind of winding down on hobby, but
never.
Just when we thought
I'm
we
really
were
hoping
out,
I'm hoping that Lone Star was my like kick in the pants to get back into hobby, because I like legitimately have not fully painted an entire model in like a year, and like I just started putting stuff together. So I got like all these pikes, like a whole bunch of like Black Sun and stuff put together, but it's like, okay, now I need to paint them again. Like I need to get that stuff out. I need to paint them. So
when it starts getting cold again, although I think you're like in California right now, so this may not apply.
Like
I was going to say,
it'd be like 70 degrees.
The winter time, that's a good time to hunker down and paint, but maybe you can go to the beach and paint some minis.
What's that guy doing, mommy?
We're just painting a little Happy Blaster right here.
Yeah. Happy Blasters on the beach. Happy Beach Blasters.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So, like we were saying, there was big Ministrav for AMG period, but Legion especially. So initial gut check of what you heard, maybe favorite thing or two. Let's start with Mitchum and just get the Ahsoka out of the way.
Thank you, AFG. The gods have blessed us. It's all good.
Doubly.
Yeah,
two. I like both sculpts. Look great. You can definitely tell it's like season 1 Ahsoka, and then maybe like season 5 or 6 Ahsoka. So not necessarily season 7, which is fine. But yeah, models look great. I'm excited to see the cards. I think they said Q3 of 2025, I believe. So we probably won't see anything until Adepticon next year, which sucks. But she's coming. She's coming. My 332nd have their queen, their commander, their leader. So it's all good. So if anybody wants to buy my Rebel Army, I'm selling it because I need to buy more clones to paint 332nd. So just let me know, hit me up, send me a message. So yeah, besides that, I think after the initial like shock of the first stream, I'm really looking forward to the turn 0 changes, new missions, new secondaries, new advantages, just a whole new landscape of how to play the game. So I'm really looking forward to kind of diving into my first game and seeing how it works. 5 rounds as well instead of 6. So shorter game. And the first round is kind of like a deployment phase, sort of. So really kind of 4.5 rounds, So it'll be nice to play a faster game. And it'll be really exciting to have new missions. So that's kind of like obviously the 2 main things. Saw some ARF troopers with the Jedi detachment. A lot of cool clone stuff coming down the pipe. New clone infantry sculpts that look great. Can't wait to repaint my entire clone army now with new and better looking models. Yeah. So those are all my kind of just initial like, oh, good stuff. So
I like a lot of the upgrades or updates they've done to older units. Like I really liked the Rebel Troopers. Like I thought that was a pretty cool way to upgrade. Some of the new stuff, the Imperial Riot guys look really interesting. And then for rules, I like the half range to an object to get cover from it. I feel like that's really going to open up a lot of shots. There'll be a lot more open shots than there were. So it's
that's what that's for.
Well, yeah, it is a lot of stuff now, but yeah, that's one of the things it does is it's if you're not within, if half of your unit isn't within half range, whatever you call it, range 0.5 of an object, you don't get cover from it.
Oh, half your unit has to be within half range?
Yeah, I think that's how. I think that's my understanding.
You also have to be within half range of the objective to score as well.
Yeah,
but the POIs are also cover.
POIs are heavy cover, and they're like 2-inch diameter. So I guess a 2-inch circle.
And then like a half range height silhouette. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
So
like 3 inches high. So and they don't block line of sight. So there's some cover there, but yeah, I really I think in theory, like top down, you tell me the math on the cover, I'm like, sure, that all makes sense, and I like the way it scales. But I am a little scared of the first time I get a big shot into somebody and it either full saves or it completely blanks, because it's gonna be a feel bad either way. So I think that could potentially be a little tilting, but I mean, I think the progression where like it kind of affects bigger hits more than smaller hits, I think is pretty neat. But
well, it was a bit of a roller coaster for me. They showed the roadmap 2024, 2025, beginning of 2026, and there just wasn't really, I looked between the lines. There just really wasn't any Shadow Collective or Mercenary Forces on there. And I was a little down. I'm not going to lie. And I think the first gut check of the rules was like, this is terrible. But I hadn't read it and no one had, it's just like, change. put me back in the darkness. But more we dug into it, I agree. I think there is a lot of cool things that these rules are going to allow the game to change to do. I feel like the objectives are set up in a way for them to be able to more easily design and add more of them. And I think it would be bad for them to do this redesign and then we have just these objectives again for 5 or 6 years and then we end up back in the same spot. But I think they are trying to avoid that, and they've put themselves in a spot to where they can add more and maybe do more seasonal things. But after LSO, I came home and I did some investigative work, and I watched the stream about Spec Ops, which maybe not a lot of people did, but I did. Because, you have to turn over every stone when you're out here being a collective in the shadows. And I'm gonna share my screen here. Let's see. I give you all Exhibit A.
It's even grainy. It's even a grainy photo.
They added a Super Commando squad for Spec Ops, right? Which great. But then they went and they made these specific cards for them. Awesome. Swoop bikes, cool. Some bounty looking dudes on one of them. But we've got just Savage there in the middle, just teasing. And I'm like, I have not seen this Savage art before. That tells me, they commissioned for something. And does this look like Shatterpoint art to you? I think not. This is clearly for some Legion business. And while I'm sure Spec Ops is going to be a burgeoning game mode that is going to gain popularity, I can't help but feel that this may come up again later. So I'm going to hold on to my thread of hope and put this out into the universe.
This is all he needed. He just needed this. You gave him a single card with Savage on it. He's like, I'm back.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, I guess on sad parts, on Friday when they're talking about the new way to play Legion and refresh and all this stuff, the art behind them, like on the screen, is like Gungans, and I'm like, we are so here, like it is happening, like Gungans. It's like I was, it's like how much credit do I got? Let's line up. We're buying the whole army here, and then nothing on the roadmap. It's like I feel like I got punked.
It was just too much this time. There's too much to announce.
Yeah,
and yeah.
They said this was part 1 as well, so there's part 2 coming.
I think
soon, hopefully.
If I'd have known what all they were going for, I think it makes sense for them to actually bring everything over to the new Legion. There's still a lot of cards that have not been updated yet. So I think once they do that, then I would really start to expect a bunch of new stuff to come out. And I know there's some stuff that's like the Saboteurs or Sleeper Cell and the Riot people are going to have the old card style initially even. So I think there was some, they didn't exactly know where this was all going to land timeline wise, but yeah, I think they'll get all that first, and then maybe we'll start to look at some new, because we've all got a ton of stuff to chew on now as far as list building. So
yeah, some more than others. But
they gave you 200 points.
They had Shock T art too.
Yeah.
And so if she comes out,
that's in the core rulebook.
I may actually become a clone player. The true Togruta Jedi. Yeah. Zane, I know you were super busy that weekend. Did you get a chance to see anything?
I didn't see anything. Most of what I know is just hearsay from everybody else. Was really excited to hear the objectives and all that stuff is completely reworked, because there's definitely this staleness to what we'd been playing. You pretty much got them figured out, and it was just like, cool. Oh, key positions. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. Intercept. Okay. Cool. So now it's just a little bit that I've been kind of recapping since I got back. I'm like, oh, I'm looking at bunker assault right now, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It's going to take some getting used to, trying to figure out how this all plays out. But I think just having a refresh on the game with just what you're playing, I think is huge. I also like bigger armies. I think 1,000 points is going to be a lot of fun to just see more units on the table, because it is a army thing, it felt like a weird in between of you see Warhammer has these hordes of dudes on the table, and then then you look over at Shatterpoint, it's like, oh, I got my 6 guys, we were kind of in this middle range, and so I think it's gonna be cool now to be here's my literal legions of stormtroopers to throw out on the table, and I think it'll catch people's eye walking by too. They already do when other people who play the game walk by, they go, oh, is this Star Wars? Oh, cool. But now you're going to look over and you're going to see 112 B1s on a table, and you're going to be like, what in the world is going on here? So.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I feel like this also opens them up structurally to maybe do a bigger army mode 2 again. And that's how they can maybe eventually bring the AT-AT to the table, or the proper lat transport that clones have.
Yeah.
Because now you can make your cores double size, without jacking up activation count and things like that. And it's been encouraging. The few people we know that have played have said that it plays faster, even though there's more stuff on the table. So
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there's less decision making in turn 0, where you have to be really thinking about stuff. The objectives are fixed, so you're not worried about where you're placing stuff. Your guys all come on round 1. Obviously there's exceptions, but most of them come on round 1, so you aren't placing, and so I feel like it cut out a lot of time. You lost a round. The progressive scoring means you need to get out there and play and start scoring, or you're going to get way too far behind. So I think a lot of the things complaints we've had on this cast about things we don't like about the way Legion played, the 800, sabotage, everybody chill, you can't, that's gone.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've really hit on a lot of concerns that a lot of people had. I don't know if it's perfect. It seems like it's done a pretty decent job, at least for everything I'm hearing. And but I'm excited about it. I'm ready.
I think too, from a having helped David on several streams now, and with Worlds and stuff, There's definitely those games like key positions. You know, you get 2 high-level players playing key positions, and you're watching a toilet bowl until the last, 10 minutes of the game, and it's just like, all right, cool, and so now it seems like it's going to be from the get-go, action's going to be happening. I think it's going to bring a lot more viewership to the streams that are out there, so.
Yeah.
And I doubt we'll have those games where you're just sitting there and going, okay, we're going to wait till the end, and then we'll see all the action happen, so.
Yeah. Lots more big roles happening too, with the cover roll and then the defense roll. So
yeah. Also too, from a TO standpoint, kind of moving away from SOS, I think, because now there's a cap scoring system.
Yeah.
So you can utilize victory points as a suitable way to break ties.
Yes.
Because everything goes to 12, and so that way you don't have to. If your opponent drops after round 1, then that hurts your SOS because they're not playing any more games. So now that you can get away from that and not penalize people for having, for other their opponents dropping and stuff like that. I mean, they can't help that. But now you can go out there and score victory points and tournament points and stuff like that and use that. So I think that's a huge change in the tournament scene to be able to get away from SOS. And I know everybody's had their hits and misses about it and complaints and stuff like that. So I think that'll be a huge benefit as well, just to have a consistent scoring platform that everyone uses. So the tournaments will be more, or the rankings in the tournaments will be a better judgment of skills for different players and stuff like that.
Yeah, and how well you did as a player, because it's like wins, losses, then victory points, then kill points. So kill points is your third, maybe tiebreaker, probably at that point, which I think is pretty good. So but if you're hitting 12 every game, then you're going to be up there.
Yeah, for sure.
And you couldn't do that before, because not every objective had the same number of victory points, so it wasn't really.
And honestly, too, I mean, you could still lose a game and score 11 victory points. And I mean, that's a close game. I mean, that's a crazy great game.
Well, you can also win and score more than 12.
That is true. Yeah. So you can score 12 and still lose, I guess, technically, if someone scored 13 or more. And that's an insane game on both ends. So you're both being propelled up the rankings. It's just you didn't get the win. So, losing, if you score enough victory points, losing doesn't feel as bad as maybe it did in the past. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously we haven't played, so I don't know how easy it is to get to 12 victory points, or, how much of a whooping you can put on someone. I doubt we're going to see a lot of 12-0 or even 12-1, 12-2 games. Yeah. People are going to score points. I mean, I just think that's just part of it,
Yeah, and there's secondaries too. So
yeah, I think 6-5 would be, or a 12-5 would be, or 12-6.
A stomp.
Would be
the
a
equivalent
stomp.
Of a stomp, yeah.
If you beat someone by double victory point, I think that's a stomp. But which is still not bad. I mean, the other person gets to score, they get to play the game. They feel like they're doing something. So I think it's going to be a nice teaching moment for bringing new players into the game as well. Being hey, you still scored 6 victory points instead of losing on KP, 2-0.
Yeah. Thanks for playing 2.5 hours and you got nothing from it.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Or thanks for playing and on sabotage. Oh, and you brought a bid. Oh, you automatically lose because you didn't kill any of my stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for playing for 3 hours. Too bad.
Yeah. I do like that there's 5 rounds now too. Because that's just, I mean, I honestly think our average round for Lone Star was probably 4. Just time and stuff. The amount of times we would go around and see where players were at as we were looking at the time that we had, we were we're an hour and a half in and people are on turn 2.
Yeah, the saturation of infiltrating units really made deployment time go way longer, I noticed.
Yeah. Because I mean, now that deployment phase is done, it's roped into round 1.
Yeah, they really didn't get rid of 1 round. They got rid of 2.
They got rid of 2, kind of. But once you make the mission, you jump right into the game. But you're just which I like. So, but yeah, because in all of my games, I think deployment took as long or maybe longer than like actually playing the game, which was crazy.
At least like as long as a round.
Or as long as a round. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a whole round just deploying, and then we got maybe 4 or 5 rounds in after that, So.
Well, Mitchum, you brought up tournaments, and we were at lovely Allen, Texas this past weekend.
We were
at Lone Star Open.
Yes, it was lovely.
I know Zane can finally take some deep breaths, rest easy.
Yeah, man. That was. I will say, like, having last year being the first year that I ran it, there was definitely more stressors in like figuring out what to do with that. Because I'd never TO'd before. I'd always just helped at other events. So that was a big like, I gotta make sure players do this and do that. This year was really nice because it was kind of plug and play. Like I could just take what I did last year and just move it to this year, which is like a few modifications. So that was much nicer this year to get that going.
Yeah. Again, I think you made it a great event. I've only been to Lone Star when you've ran it. And,
all right.
And I wanted to come back this year, and I want to go back next year. So
nice.
2 years in a row for sure. But yeah, we brought a big crew down there. So our big play group here in the Oklahoma City area is the Dust Bowl Bounty Hunters.
There we are.
There's those hoodlums.
Nice.
You can always know us by our shirts.
Yep.
Yeah. Travis, Posey, and Josh Cook kind of got that all kicked off, and it's just grown. And
we finally got all of us in a picture this year. I know last year we were missing one or two guys. We had to Photoshop them in. So
yeah,
it was nice to get all of us and we all coordinated our T-shirts and everything too. So
yeah, we did a good job. I don't think William had one, but Travis did like the perfect job of like covering
of like hiding
torso.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we drove down. A bunch of us stayed in an Airbnb. It was a great time. Played some SWU, a lot of Magic, some Zombicide. Stayed up way too late. Tournament night, but hey, that's part of the fun.
Feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first big question, Zane, here is: did you know? Did you know it was coming? Did you?
I had inklings of what could happen, but I had no definitive like be aware this is happening. So I just immediately like when I was made aware that things could be on the horizon, I was like la 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 la. I was just like, I'm not listening to these things because we're not gonna do that. Which was really funny because all weekend everybody around me is talking about the new stuff, and they're like, so what do you think about about this and that? And I'm like, sounds cool to me, man. If that's what you say it is, I like it. Like, let's do it. Like it was like, I don't know if you've ever seen. There was an SNL skit with I can't think of his name. He's a Chance the Rapper. And he's doing a hockey sketch and he doesn't know anything about hockey. Like he's like filling in for the guy who does the hockey coverage. And they're like, hey, Laszlo, how's the hockey game going? He's like, yeah, no, it's cold here. Like, it's cold. They got big names I can't pronounce. So let's do that hockey. Like, that's how I felt.
Let's do that Legion.
Yeah, let's do that Legion.
Yeah. Well, I think all of your TO calls and all your TOs did a great job of being able to answer questions kind of one last time through the old rules, because I know they shut down the forums there for a little bit as soon as like they announced all the new like, okay, here's all the print and play stuff. Everything else is no longer online. You cannot look up any of that stuff. And I don't think I realized that until after. And I was like, oh shoot. So all those TO calls were just kind of like off the cuff and stuff like that. So
yeah, we didn't know that until day of, and I think it was either Patrick or Ethan. Which shout out to those two guys. Those guys were
fantastic.
So much, like they were so
super
awesome.
Responsive. Yeah.
I honestly thought it was smoother this year than last year.
100%.
Really?
And I don't know if it was just like a freeing factor of like, well, there's no forum for me to reference, so I'm just gonna make a call.
And honestly, it literally came to that. Like once I think it was Patrick was the one that was like, the forums are gone. Like Ethan and I were like, what did you just say? And he's like, yeah, no, we can't look up anything. And so like we had like the old like someone had printed out actual copies of the old rule book. Those are the valid ones. Like those are printed. The edition of that one is like 1/1623, so still an older version, I think. I don't think those are still as updated. So we had those in the admin box, and we were like, this is all we got, boys. Like, this is what we're using. So, like, literally it came down to, like, whatever we kind of said went, like, this is what we got to do. And I think Patrick quoted LJ. He said, LJ says, we're not here to make the right call. We're here to make a quick call, It's like, you just gotta keep the game moving. That's why you have a judge there, and if a call's made wrong, then you apologize. There's only so much you can do. You apologize for it and move on from there. But literally it was, I think John Bushman came up to me and asked me a question. He goes, hey, can I do this or can I do that? And I was like, Johnny B, pick an edition you want that's older and go with what they said, man. He's just like started laughing. He's like, really? I was like, I mean, if you want me to make a ruling, I can come do it. And he's like, okay, I got you. And like that was it. So it was kind of the fast and
the
loose.
general consensus I got with all of my opponents was kind of like, oh, well, like none of this kind of matters anymore because this is the last hoorah. So it's just like, oh, we'll just go with it. Like if that's not right, then it's okay. A lot of the calls I think I had made were like kind of order of operations, just kind of like weird, like, okay, I play this card, you play this card. Now how do we do it in order? Which is kind of easy. There wasn't any like hard stuff. There was one time where I forgot how Obi-Wan's old mastery worked for like in Melee or something like that. But Patrick was able to he like read the card, and I remember thinking, I was like, why does he just not look at the forum? Because I didn't know. Yeah. And now it makes total sense. He was just reading. Literally reading his mastery. He's like, yeah, you could do that. And I was like, oh, okay. And it just, but nothing really had like a big impact on any of the games that I played. So it was really nice.
Where you can read the card to know what it does.
Hey, I'm a Magic player now. I know reading a card explains the card. Okay?
Yeah.
I have a 5th grade level reading comprehension. So words are hard. Okay. So bear with me, people.
I will say a lot of the calls, we legitimately were like, they'd be like, I have this and I'm trying to do that with this card because this card says that. And we would just go, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I think you can do that. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, cool. And the opponent would be like, you can? I'd be like, that's what the cards say. That's what we're going to do.
So do what the card says. Don't do what the card doesn't say.
I hope everyone was understanding at least of what
I think once they started realizing we didn't have the forums and there was no like, because I had several players who'd be like, well, I know on the forum it says this, and I was like, those aren't there no more, man. Like I can't it probably did say that, and if it did, like I wish I could just pull that up to be like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, it does say that, but it was like I can't validate what it did or didn't say, and I'm only human and don't know everything about the game, so we'd kind of have to be like, yeah, I mean, this makes sense to me, So I think once people realized we didn't have the forums, they were kind of like, oh, all right, we're just going to have fun with this and just enjoy old school Legion,
Yeah. Honestly, I like the vibe this year. I don't know why. Maybe it's because there was no like Worlds invites and plane rides on the line, but like, it was just, I felt like people were down to have fun and enjoy Legion. This Legion one more time. So
okay,
it was cool.
What was all of you? I guess I'll go down from the top. Randy, what was your highlight of the event?
My highlight. Well, I have two. My first highlight was this picture right here. Drew ASR miniature, and he had heard our last episode with Zane, and him and Mitchum, they immediately began conspiring to get Zane in that shirt. So
Hunter Rika.
Yeah. So now you know why I asked you for your shirt size like a couple weeks ago.
And it's funny. You asked me that when I was like at work or something, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, here's Mr. Zane," and it's like went on and like completely like forgot
That's
about
funny.
it.
What size shirt do you wear, Zane?
Yeah, because Randy was like, "Hey, Mitchum, those shirts are gonna get here, right? Because otherwise, I just like asked this dude."
It was really nerve wracking.
Zane will never come on again.
It was really nerve wracking. No, they came in like a few days before, so. And then as soon as because well, yeah, and then I bought my Ahsoka shirt because of obvious reasons. So
Did y'all get those like custom made?
It's like it was like a website called like Republic Tea.
Oh yeah, I know.
It'd been like floating around our Discord. Someone like found it after they heard our episode with us, and then they sent it to Drew and I. And Drew and I were like, "Yes, let's do it."
Because I had several people when I was wearing it that day. They were like, "Where did you get your shirt from?" And I was like, "Some awesome dudes gave it to me. That's all I know."
Yeah, Republic Tea, and they were actually pretty cheap. I mean, they had a lot of prints and stuff like that, but I think it was like, I think it was like $25 or something like that for like a nice quality shirt.
Yeah, dude, it's super soft. Like it's like breathable and like super soft. Like
yeah, it's awesome. It was awesome. So
we don't have a promo code with them guys, so calm down.
Sorry, we don't. I'm just letting you know where you can find it. So.
Not a spot.
And then the Ahsoka button down is from Roosevelt, which Zane. Is it Roosevelt?
Yeah, Roosevelt.
Yeah. And I mean that thing is awesome. I love it. I love it so much.
If you go to Buc-ee's, they have like they have a contract with Roosevelt, so you can actually saw some the other day. I saw the one. There was somebody else who was wearing one. It had like Jabba and stuff on it, and then at the store they had one that had like Mandalorian helmets like in rows on it. And I was like, all right,
oh, that's cool.
So you need to quit being a Buc-ee's hater, Mitchum.
I'm out. It's just another gas station. I'd rather go to OnQ or 7-Eleven.
There goes our Buc-ee's sponsorship.
You can't get beaver nuggets at just any other gas station.
Give me them beef
I could get pure sugar from just about any gas station. Thank you very much.
There you go.
So
okay, Randy. Highlight number 2.
Okay. So I was vacillating on my list a lot, knowing that I would be staring down the barrel of Commandos and Bad Batch, and Matt knows this. Matt and I have a interesting Legion relationship that involves us beating each other up on TTS a lot. But so Matt helped me like exercise some demons on some of my lists, try a couple things out. I had played this list in Shawnee or very similar lists like a month or two ago, and I like went 1 and 2, and so I was like, I'm over it. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, I could have won those games if I had just played better. Do you guys remember that movie Brink? That rollerblading movie on Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's like a part in the movie.
Wow.
I know, this is a deep cut.
Jeez.
He like talks to his sister, and she's like, just skate better. And he's like, skate better. Skate better. And so that's basically my moment. I was like, play better. Just play better. And so that's what I did. I had fabulous opponents all weekend. First game I got to play against another Shadow Collective player. He had some Triple Mandos and Gar Saxon going. I love going to Lone Star because there's actually other Shadow Collective players there, and it's not just me. So my fellow Spice Dealers. So had a force kill there, not faction. I don't want people jumping at me in the comments if I say that. And then I proceeded to play 4 different commando lists over the weekend, and they were tight games. I managed to pull out all of them somehow. They were different flavors. One was a OB Anakin commando list. One was a Bad Batch Delta commandos list. There was a Anakin Commando Delta list, and then there was a Yoda Delta Commando
Just played
list.
all variety.
I tasted the rainbow of commando clones, for sure. And My loss was to Reagan. He was of Dudes Fighting Womp Rats out in Texas. He was running a Vader Lat Dark Trooper list, and I took the recover bait. I shouldn't have sent them all down the middle, but hey, so he got blown up one round. I was 2-0. I was like, oh man, I'm actually doing really good, and then I lost them all the first round of that game. And I was like, okay, I'm having fun. What's the bounty? Can I get the bounty? Can I get the playing card here? So yeah, but no, yeah, he was a great opponent. Man, I don't remember everyone's names, but I had good conversations with everybody over the weekend. Yeah, my opinion of Texas players went up this weekend. Like, I don't know what it was last year. I don't know if it was just the initial meeting. There was just like fisticuffs ready to fly. But this year there was some more good conversations. So I came away this year really liking those guys.
There was a lot of El Paso guys that came out, I think, this year. There's a good group of them. They came all the way from El Paso.
It was all of their first major tournament too.
Yeah. That's cool, what cool. I ended up playing 2 of those guys, and they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Like Randy said, I mean, all my opponents were great. I was just happy not to drive 3 hours just to play someone that I can play every day up here. So I get to play, 5, 6 different people, which was really nice. So
yeah.
And I'll hop in here. Randy went 5-1 and was 6th place overall.
Yep.
And then Mitchum was 16th. So both of my boys got top 16. So
so the second day
LVOI points, baby. LVOI points.
That's
the
right.
second day
That's right.
I 3-0'd, and my goal had been I'm gonna 3-0 with a list with a Pike Capo where he's got vigilance and is like tricked out, and it's taken me forever, but now I'm free. So now I'll play whatever I feel like until I come up with some other weird challenge for myself. But anyways, I digress. But I think my highlight game was okay. So I guess everyone knows JJ, but I did not know JJ because there was like JJ clapping, and so he was my 6th round game, and I was like, man, I don't think this guy likes me very much or something. But like as we were sitting there, like getting stuff out, and I was like, oh, he's really tired, and I'm really tired, and we both kind of figured that out, and we just kind of started bonding over how tired we were, and. Yeah, as the game went on, we had a great time. It was a good game. We did not hit 6 rounds, though, and I seriously think that was just because we were both so tired, and we got a dang short edge deployment, so we were having to get up so much. And, like, if we had just been standing the whole time, I think we would have flown through it, but we were just like, oh, let me get up another time. And you could just hear dice falling off tables that whole round.
Yeah, that
like everyone round was tired. Like,
yeah.
I kid you not, I almost ate shit on a white defense die that had rolled a blank from someone's table, and I was like, that is a bad omen. We need to finish this and get out of here. Yeah. So, but yeah, JJ was great. All the guys I met was great. But yeah, so just the games were good, and yeah, I had a really good time meeting and playing with people this weekend. So
that's awesome.
The JJ clapping came from we went to eat Velvet Taco. What was that? Saturday night, and just randomly, I was sitting at the table. We had already ordered. There was like 3 different tables of us. And I see like JJ ordering, and I just like looked around. I looked at the guys around me. I was like, "Hey guys, when they call JJ's name, because when you order tacos at Velvet Taco, they take your name and they come over and they're like, Zane, your tacos are ready." Then you get up and you go eat your tacos. And I was like, "Hey guys, when they announce JJ's name, we should all cheer." And Ethan was like, "No, we need to clap." And I was like, "Okay, perfect." So we like told all the tables near us. JJ goes through the line. He's getting his drink. So I go to the rest of the Florida guys that are in line behind him. I'm like, guys, this is what we're going to do. So everybody's in on it. So we're all just sitting there like, waiting, and they come over and they're like, JJ, your tacos are ready. And we're like, yeah, whoa, JJ. And he's like, what's going on? Like, and like the whole restaurant is just like, everybody's like, what's going on here? And like people in the kitchen are like, what? And so like he gets his food, and he's like, the heck's going on, guys? And like nobody says anything. Nobody says anything. And he's just like, what the heck? And then he had ordered something else that like had come out a little bit later. So they got on again and we're like, JJ, your tacos are ready. And we're like, oh yeah, we do it again. Even so much that the manager on the mic saying his name starts going, JJ, JJ. And the whole restaurant is literally going, JJ, JJ.
Wow,
and JJ's like,
dang.
what is going on? And then like he has no idea like who put it in motion until later. But then it just became a thing that like we just out of random, we just be like, JJ, your tacos are ready. And then Ethan went and bought him a piece of cake without him knowing and told them like, hey, tell him that his cake is ready. And so then we did it a third time and he was just like, will you guys stop ordering food and calling my name and clapping for me? Like,
oh man.
yeah. So then that next day at the
many
tournament,
wargamers are just built different, man. It's when we travel in groups like that, I mean, we are just life of the party. It seems like.
it's unhinged.
He was awesome. We brought some X-1 stickers down and I gave him one and he just like he stopped the game and like took the time to like put it on his box right there. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it on here right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a class act for sure.
For sure. How about you, Mitchum?
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of good to choose from. I think every person I played, I think I had a friendly competitive game, I think. So they were all really close games, and I had a great time in every single game. It was really awesome to give out stickers to everybody for X-1 and be like, hey, this is our like Oklahoma Legion Discord or Legion podcast. If you want to check us out. There was one guy, I don't think I played against him, but I was on a table next to him. He was like, oh, hey, I watched the battle report that you did on Jerry's Game Shop when you played your Obi-Wan Triple Commando list. And I was like, oh, yeah. So it was cool kind of getting recognized by people a little bit. The one highlight.
Mitchum's in it for the fame.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, I'll check me into rehab. It's already going to my head.
He's a monster.
My one highlight is, so round 2, I played one of the El Paso guys. God, I want to say his name was Joaquin.
I got you.
I can't remember. Great guy. Loved him. He played Double Darks in Moth. And so naturally, I did the thing with commandos. I moved within range 2 with the impact gun. And then fire supported with an RPS. So I had impact 6. And they were in range 1 of one of my tokens. So it's critical 2. And so I ended up rolling like 13 crits on this guy's Dark Troopers. He then proceeds, I give him 2 of my dice because he didn't have enough red dice. He proceeds to roll 12 of 13 blocks and takes a wound. Yeah. And I was just like, I was like, I don't know what else you want me to do.
That's in the biz, we like to call that noise dice.
Yeah. It was some noise. And so yeah, that was really fun, and it was just really cool to have like a great time with him. My other highlight, which I don't have a picture of, my last opponent of the game was a guy also from the El Paso group, and I walked up to the table, and I knew what list I was bringing. I knew it was stale and Obi-Wan Triple Commandos. So I tried to bring a personality to the table to be like fun and friendly and stuff like that. And then so I walk up and I'm like, hey, my name's blah blah blah. Like, what's going on? And he's like, what kind of list are you bringing? And he was like, yeah, I got double range troopers, double shores, double mortars, and veers. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, well, you better not be telling me you're bringing clones to the table. And I was like,
you must have played Jeff.
Well,
my name's Jeff.
Would you hate me if I did? And he just gave me that smirk. And then from then on, like the entire game, it was my goal to make it like his funnest game. And he said it multiple times. He was like, this is probably the best game I've played all weekend. And so we had a great time just like shooting the shit and just like giving each other crap and just being like, oh, I thought you said you were a nice guy. And you're over here playing Obi-Wan Triple Commandos, not even let me win, like blah, 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 blah. And so it was just a blast. And it came down to the wire. Like Obi-Wan had to dive in, played as one pip, killed some range troopers, moved in, almost killed Veers. So it was really, really fun and just a great way to end a fantastic weekend and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I think I don't think I have a bad thing to say about any of my opponents. Like, nothing but good things. Again, just friendly, competitive Legion. And it was really nice to kind of just go out with a bang for the last time with the old rules and everything. So yeah, it was fantastic weekend. I couldn't have asked for more. And I guess I just need to be hungover to go 3-0 because I also went 3-0 on Sunday. And let me tell you, I bought a bottle of gin on Friday and it was gone by Saturday night. And so I woke up Sunday it was rough the first round. And so it was, but hey, we went 3-0. So I've also released from, my whatever. I know I can finally say I've gone 3-0 on a single day tournament kind of.
Nice.
I beat my goal. I wanted to go 3-3. After the first day I was 1-2. So, and then after the first 2 rounds, I was like, okay, I've won my 3 games. Like, I'm good. And then I had winning the last one to go 4-2 and get 16th to get LVOI points was way more than I expected. So yeah, turns out I'm okay at this game, I think. So it's nice.
Not anymore.
Yeah, true.
No one's nothing now.
You were okay at the last version.
That's it. New game. Sorry.
You finally got it, Mitchum.
Draft.
You almost had it.
Yeah, I couldn't go X and 1, but I was trying my best out there. So
yeah, and Randy did go X and 1 as contractually obligated. One of us has to go X and 1.
Yeah,
so.
One of us does. So
there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, great. And then doing the poker in between games. I mean, I think that was really fun. Just kind of like. Because it seemed like after every game, they're like, "Oh, hey, you got the bounty," and I was like, "Oh yeah, shoot! Like, what do you need? What do I want?" And I think that was a really cool way to do prize support and everything. It really kept people involved, and it seemed like every one of my opponents was even to the end. Even my last game, they were all like, "Oh yeah, this is cool. Like, I need this card, you need that card, and stuff like that." So it was cool to see that even to the end of round 6, that people were still trying to get the best hand they could to get some of the awesome prizes that Zane provided and everything like that. So that was really fun. And then, also too, when Zane would come by and drop off dice at my table. Just a little
dice bag.
So, okay,
this is actually really
no. It gets worse. Gets worse. He comes by, he drops off the 2 white dice, and I'm like, these better be loaded, Zane. He's like, oh yeah, no problem. Yeah. Double. I was like, all right, cool.
I didn't tell which way they were loaded.
Yeah. Comes over with the black dice. And I was like, okay, are we doing better this time? Double blanks again. And finally he comes over with the red dice and I rolled 2 crits. So all is forgiven.
Well, that's because I took them out of the bag and set them down blank.
That's
side
true.
up.
He put them down on the blanks and then they immediately rolled into crits. So I was like, okay. They did roll pretty good after that. So I will say. I got a lot of good that I ended up killing 2 ATSTs round 2 of my second game. Almost one-shotted one, and I killed Marquand on turn 2 when I played some Tempest Force with some commandos. So and that was without the impact gun. So that was just straight up good old fire support. Sad day.
Yeah, not really.
So, yeah.
So, Zane, what about you? I saw that you were over with Endless doing stream stuff. And all the other TO things.
Yeah, I know. Like on that last game, I was streaming. I literally had like a headset on like this, and like was like at the end of the table for the final match, like judging the final match while also streaming with Endless. Just trying to fill in the roles where it needed to be. I think honestly, like I think one of the coolest things from my side as the TO was picking the Bad Batch squad of players.
Yes,
that was because like me and the other like Ethan and Patrick were kind of like I had a couple of them in my head already that like these kind of fit like the role of the character. And so it was fun, like coming up with what we were going to do with those, and then finding the people to give the prizes to, and then have them come together in a cool photo. I thought that was a lot of fun. I just posted, you guys, I don't know if you saw, I literally just posted it in the Lone Star Open Discord, the picture of the rule book that everybody signed. I thought that was really cool. Here's our Bad Batch photo. So it was
that's
really
a lot
cool.
of Oklahomies right there. Sounds like you got some bias.
I mean, that's just the way they all went down. So, but yeah, no, that was really cool. I know Travis had posted that he was like super excited that the tech award like really made his weekend. So, and I'll be darned if I legitimately went through and counted every single upgrade in every single list. So that was a lot. But yeah, and then just like I said, that everybody signing the rules book and the kind of the last ride. That was a cool thing to do. I did have another dice moment that was really funny. Micah, yeah, there it is. That looks so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a great idea. Yeah.
Closed transport forever.
I don't know who put that, but right on, my man. Right on.
Yeah, no, that was just like, as soon as I said it, I saw like everybody in the crowd be like, "Oh yeah, I want to sign that. I'm gonna sign that." Like, so I thought that was pretty cool. But no, the other dice roll but funny story that I had was one of the players, Micah. Who was it? It was his name eludes me. He had his arm in the sling.
Aaron.
Yes, Aaron. Yes,
that's one of our guys, Aaron Smith. Yeah.
So he was playing Micah. And I was by the table, and he turns to me and goes, "Zane, you need to come check his dice, because I've never seen someone roll so many blanks on their defense dice." He's like 0 for 32 or something like that. And I was like, "Geez, really?" And Micah was just like, "Yeah, it's just the way it is, you know." And so I was like, just went over to his tray and picked up 5, and I was like, "It's defense dice, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I picked up 5 white defense dice, and I rolled them 2 surges, 2 blocks, and a blank. And he was like, "What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" I was like, "It's all right, man. I just juiced him up for you." And he was just like, "I cannot believe you just did that." And like, I walked around and came back after a little bit, and it was like, "Dude, it worked. His dice are actually rolling a lot better now." And I was like, "Well, there you go." So
shoot some of that Zane juju at him or something.
That's right.
Bless you, my child. Go with Surge. Oh yeah. But yeah, I signed right under you, Mitchum.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, no, that was great. I was kind of thinking about it that weekend too, just being at the Airbnb. Like, man, I have like all these friends and community now from this game, and I think that was like kind of one of the things that got me over the initial negative hump of the announcements and stuff. Was like, I'm here this weekend and got all these new friends and stuff because I started playing this game, and I started reading the rule book, and I think it's going to be cool. So yeah, it was both a crazy weekend to be at for all those announcements, but also I think it was like perfect too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, and I'm glad everybody seemed to like the poker thing. That was I kid you not, I was trying to go to sleep one night, and that popped into my head, and it was like the better of 45 minutes to an hour that I just laid there like, oh, I could do this. And if I haven't do that, then I could do this, and I could switch around. And it was just like, I just kept like going over it in my head. And I was like, I got to go to sleep. I got to stop thinking about this. I got to go to sleep. And so like, then the next morning I woke up and like texted my buddy, who helped me shoot through the cards, cause he's a Fort Worth PD officer. And,
I was about to say, I was like, if you need a deck of cards, like I will buy you a fresh deck, Zane. Like, holy cow. Like, Jesus, man. Like, I will buy you a whole set.
Yeah. Well, apparently people didn't realize that they were like, some people didn't realize that they were shot through. And so, cause I had this whole thing where I was going to like spray paint like Star Wars symbols on them and like, shoot through them and like kind of burn. And I was like, once I realized that I needed 8 decks of cards for potentially 74 players, I was like, that's like 400 and something cards. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I was like, we're just gonna shoot through them and leave it at that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I know. Then I like typed up all the rules for it, and he and I talked through like, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that. Like, got to make sure this doesn't happen. And one thing that like both of us were kind of, I was like, oh, like people swapping cards and like, but it seemed like everybody was pretty like on the ownership, like, no, I need these cards. You have those cards. You know, the guy, I think it was Aiden who had the best hand. Dude had like a royal flush, aces high, and like,
Wow.
and he was like, I don't play poker. He was like, literally, my opponents have helped me build this hand throughout the entire tournament. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, because he came up to me like towards the end. He was like, I don't know if I need to change. I was like, dude, stay where you're at. I was like, you don't need to change anything. Do not do anything with your cards. And he's like, okay, all right. And then we had everybody line up, and he was in the front. And he was like, I don't even play poker. Everybody just helped me do this. And I was like, that's even cooler to me. Like, the fact that you didn't know how to play and all your opponents helped you make this hand, I think is awesome.
Yeah. I know there's a lot, especially with my opponents. I didn't want to, I mean, I tried to, I mean, I took what I needed, but I tried to give them something that they could also like turn around and make a good hand as well.
So yeah, that's cool.
Until the very end, that dang Opalso guy took my straight from me, but that's okay. I played Obi-Wan Triple Commando, so I can't fault him for that. So, but no, I thought it was great. And yeah, I think initialing the cards was a good idea because it kind of put that like, oh, they're gonna go and check out all the opponents that we played and see that we have a card in here that's not from the initials of one of the guys that we played, and then we're not going to get any. So there was kind of like a real like stigma of like, oh no, we can't trade cards like yet or whatever. So, but still, I thought it was great. It was really fun, like little, and it was nice to kind of put it away like during the game. Yeah, and then be like, oh wait, that happened. Like we need to do this real fast. So like, oh yeah, and then break it and then put it away and then go back into the game. So it wasn't like a constant like, oh, we got to play this mini game real fast. You know? So,
yeah. And I like that because I like that I gave out generic bounties, you know, because I think that was, because as the weekend goes on, like I didn't want guys being like, oh, what do we I got to kill something to get what to do this, you know, like I just wanted to be like, cool. First one to kill a commander, first one to kill a core unit. Like everybody's got those in their list.
So glad you kept them the same for the second day. That was peak.
We had thought about changing it up, and Ethan was like, you know, maybe we just keep it the same. And I was like, honestly, that's probably not a bad idea. That way nobody's having to think twice about it. So
yeah.
Roll 5 black dice, and whoever gets the most crits, followed by the most hits. Yeah, no, that was cool. Very thematic.
Yeah.
Very thematic too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to definitely thank you, Zane, for making it a great event. You put in so much of the prize support yourself. Just talking to you, I did not realize how much of it was just you. And I definitely thought there was other sources that kicked in more of that. So I'm everyone who went, definitely give Zane a big thank you on Discord or when you see him, because it made the event way more awesome for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Like I'm one of those people that like when I see people having fun and I can benefit that or make that better, you know, like I get enjoyment from that. So
yeah.
It
seems like you're having a blast the whole time too. So
the Bad Batch trophies were great.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bad Batch, those are awesome. Love that. That was so cool.
I think people were more envious of those than like getting like actual prizes. Like I was like, I want that Fennec Shand. Why can't I you know, she's a mercenary, give her to me. Yeah, no. It was great.
For everyone what were they giving out? So Echo was for the most upgrades.
Yeah.
Tech was most upgrades.
Tech was the most upgrades, yeah.
So Hunter was either going to be the first person that beat Austin Miller since he was the reigning champion. So like Hunter's good at like tracking and stuff. So it was like, so that was what it was going to be, or whoever came in second place overall as a way of saying like they're coming back into the hunt to get it next year.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So that was Colton. So Colton got that one. And then, Tech was whoever brought the most upgrades, and Travis had 25. I think the next person underneath him had 20 or 21. So,
okay, that's a little close.
So it was close, but like that was it. Like I would say the average was like 13, 10 to 13. And then Wrecker was like the person who we kind of were like, they're just gonna like blow through the weekend. Well, that was James because he didn't have his original list, and so he was like, "I'm playing with this list that I've never played, and I'm bringing it, and we're just gonna go for it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a wrecker move. Like you're just gonna blow straight through a wall. Like you know what? We hit this wall, and we're just pushing through." And that was like he was the first one we figured out who we were giving it to because it was just like, oh yeah, that's James. Like he's playing a list he's never played. Like he's gonna run through the whole tournament with this thing. And then Crosshair was the person who had. I was gonna pick the most range, but like it's so hard with people bringing commandos and range troopers and stuff like that. So I went with whoever brought the most generic snipers, like generic sniper strike teams, and then that tied with a couple people having 3 in their list. And then I went and looked at those lists to see who had more range after that. And that came down to one person who had more range in their list on top of that, which I think was Evan Christensen, I believe. And then Omega was easy. It was like the youngest player we had there, and that was Cooper Biesinger. That kid was awesome. I think he came in like 12th overall too. Like,
I think so.
He did really well.
He's been to a couple of our tournaments in Oklahoma because they're from Kansas.
Yeah.
So they drove down from, I think, Wichita, I think is where they're from, him and his dad. So we like hosting them too. And it was really cool to see them at LSO.
Yeah.
Coming to a big GT. So I think that was our first time going to like a big 2-day tournament too. So
yeah. And then Echo was the stream award for who Dave thought was like the best person that he had on stream. And he gave that to Jared for just being like an overall really good sport on stream. So
nice.
He's a good dude.
Jerry's awesome.
Yeah. Jerry's cool. Jerry's cool.
So yeah, that was our Bad Batch group.
Awesome.
So,
Matt, did you see any pictures that provoked any questions out of you?
Well, I mean, I missed the group photo. I mean, I liked the Wrecker or the Bad Batch team photo also. No, not like anything that gave me questions. Just everything gave me a lot of FOMO. I was like the guy outside. It's like raining. I'm like, oh, it could have been me.
There's that Eric and Andre gif where he's like shaking the fence. And
he's like, let me in. Yeah. So pretty much.
Did you watch the stream at all, Matt?
I watched a little bit. I tried to watch Jared.
Yeah.
We've got to figure something out to deal with Austin Miller. He's killed far too many bounty hunters. The guild is not claiming that bounty. We have a new Legion now, I guess, to try to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. He's
for sure.
He's pretty good at the game.
Jerry almost had him in their game.
I heard it was razor close.
Every single call, whether it was like line of sight, movement, rules, was for like Austin got no favors in his game, and so it was like completely an uphill battle for Austin to win that game.
Yeah, and that's a pretty fun list. I played against that list against Jared before it had the IRG, and I think the IRG would have made it a lot tougher for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Jerry was telling me it came down to that like activation pull. Like he was trying to get Fifth Sister in time to go with her, and that would have like stopped the bus from blocking the payload move.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah, because when it was all said and done,
she got improvised orders, bro.
It was literally like his payload
that close,
was like that far from touching the terrain. Yeah. Which is like I've never seen. It's been a long time since I've seen payloads actually get close to touching terrain. I mean, Austin's touch.
I thought you were just going to say payload,
or that in general. Yeah. Rip payload.
But Jared's a good guy. We got to next LSO. We got to come up with a comprehensive plan. He just keeps beating us, so I don't know what to do.
We got to dismantle those Florida man guys. Come on.
Yeah, no darn Florida man.
We took down Texas. Now we're coming after Florida.
I don't know. JJ won me over. He won me over.
Well, we can still like him.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, we have to take it personally. Man. Well, since the weekend was kind of like a send off for Old Legion for us, I thought we could all quickly like kind of in memoriam our thing we will miss most about this version of Legion. And I would like to take my opportunity here to remember yon reckless driver and his transporting ways. Never again shall we let our units ride inside of vehicles. They will just get dropped off at the field of battle and sent off to the hail of laser fire on their own. So let us remember the displacements, the suppression, the body blocking. Reckless driver, we barely knew you.
I would like to remember Republic Exemplar.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
All those dodges, hiding Anakin behind a rock with 5 dodges, everybody having situational awareness, watching Randy cry as he tried to shoot them with pikes, then fire supporting him back. Also, RIP for public fire support.
yeah, I was about to say. It's gonna hard to pick a not degenerate answer here.
Rest in peace, all degenerate Republic mechanics that I abused for years.
I miss all my broken stuff. Can I get that back?
I miss Rexstar standby sharing.
Yep. RP my broken faction.
Range 2 clone sharing now, though. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's like you can play on the whole board now.
Yeah. No more clone balls.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be twice as big a ball. It's gonna be a slightly bigger ball.
We're aggressive.
You guys are so far away than you used to be. What happened?
I'm just still gonna I'm just gonna deploy in a ball as have it. You know, it's like
Man, that's
I will say I played a guy this weekend and he didn't understand the term clone ball, what that meant.
Oh,
and he asked me, he was like, "So is this?"
You showed him
nicely. He's like, "So is this what a clone ball is?" And I was like, "This is what a clone ball does."
Son.
Yeah. As I proceed to just dismantle. So he's like, "Yes, this is what a clone ball." So I would like to also to remember Rage 1 clone balls and defensive tech, and RIP Secret Mission. I know it's still in the game, but it's interesting now. So I think R2 is not going to get played a whole lot. Let's see. Other than that,
disagree.
I think Double Bounty's better. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I agree with that.
Bounty. Is
I do agree. Bounty is better.
Bounty is 100%.
I mean, repair is still going to be good.
Yeah, repair is still going to be good. Let's see.
DC-15.
Yeah, but it's gonna be on marksman's or.
I don't think it's gonna be red dice though. It's not gonna be a red 2 red with critical 1.
I think it still will be.
Good. I'm glad.
Hey, if you give me a 2 red critical 1 squad, that's fine.
But, you know what? I'll say Anakin's old. You know what? His flaw card. Anakin's old flaw card. I'll say that. Flaw cards in general, I think. Just kind of. Go by the white side. Granted, Tempted is so good now, but
I think his new cards look cool, but I will miss the progressive powering.
Yeah,
up,
the progressive.
I am a slow learner. Like it was thematic.
Yeah. Yep.
What about you, Zane? Did you miss anything? You actually don't know what you're missing.
Or just tell us
when it starts coming around.
Just tell us what your favorite thing is, and we'll tell you how it's gone.
That's so morbid. Tell us what you like, and we'll tell you no.
My friends. Your friends are all gone. They've been errated out.
I mean, the one thing that I did hear a few things about was just transport changing, and in my mind, so growing up on Halo and stuff, right, and action movies, it's always grab the flag, the guy comes in with the warthog, you jump in the warthog, you zip off with the flag, right? Or in the movies, it's I got the objective, and it's I'm coming around in my Nissan Altima, and the dude jumps in the car and they speed off, and it's I always thought that would be such a cool thing to have in the game, is it's you fly in with a speeder and jump off and have to get the objective and throw it back on, and then you're trying to get out of there, and I always thought that was a cool idea, and it was no, that's not a thing, or whoever will be.
Yep.
Did you see the announcement for heroes on bikes, essentially?
I saw
for the future, Grievous on the wheel and
Grievous is on the wheel.
And Luke and Han on the Tom. Yep, I did see. I did that as one of the things I saw in the video. So
Hey guys, transports are gone. Just kidding. They're coming back to play.
Just kidding. We're giving all heroes mounts now. Woohoo!
We're all playing WoW. You all get your own mounts.
Yeah. I was thinking it too.
Yeah.
Grind to level 40. Oh man.
You haven't played enough Legion games to get your mount yet. Sorry.
Oh no.
It's like a punch card. It's like, you're only at 9, and once you get 10, we'll give you the first
then
one.
You mail it into AMG, and then they send you a mount. Yeah.
Their PO box. Yeah.
They send you a link to purchase.
Yeah, I immediately thought of like a commercial ad, like back. You remember like Zoom, like the old like show when we were kids, like come on in Zoom, come on in. They're like, and they'd be like, send it into PO box 02134. Like that's like AMG's could be like doing that, and be like, and then we'll send you your mount.
Cuts
like,
this episode.
Oh my gosh.
Really showing our age here, guys.
Get your cereal box tops. Oh, that's what those little proof of purchases can be for. We've all got a stack of them
box
somewhere.
tops.
You cash in your old box tops to get your mounts for your new for the new Legion.
Man.
If you're 18 to 29, please just fast forward a few minutes.
Back in my day, we read the back of our cereal boxes for entertainment.
We didn't have our phones to read on the toilet.
It's funny. I use that like back in my day thing a lot with when I was on stream with David, because he'd say, "Oh, well, that's changed now," and I'd be like, "Back in my day, Legion used to be like this."
I used to deploy uphill both ways in the snow.
Oh man, no, it'll be good. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm having fun with it. At least it's something that I'm bouncing around my head thinking about. You know, how I'm going to change all my lists and what I need to buy. And what else I need to buy? I've been buying stuff already, but what else I need to buy to?
I'm excited to bring vehicles back into the game again. Like I'm excited to run a Saber tank and Cody and Obi-Wan, you know, and then or maybe run a couple ISPs or double airspeeder for rebels. Like I think vehicles will have a place again. Armor I think got a little bit worse, but I think with the points increase, it's like why not bring a vehicle? It's just like, you know, any Garlish you created before, you could just throw Yoda in the list now because it's, and then still have 20 points left over. So it's just like, I mean, why not bring Annie and Obi and Yoda? I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So.
Might try the Flamer ATRT. Flamer ATRT coming to a table near you, maybe.
I heard a lot of people talking about like bringing in flamers again. So
the droid.
I think it's going to be cool seeing like an actual horde of B1s.
Yeah.
Like 122 B1s on a table is going to be nuts the first time it happens.
Bless the person who does that, because
I think Flamer Snows could be a really actually solid pick. I don't know about the Republic ATRT. I feel like it's just going to get shredded.
Flamer Snows. Someone was talking about Flamer Spiders, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's another good unit with a Flamer versus the ATRT, which is not a good unit with a Flamer. So, I'm excited. I guess we're ready to about wrap up here. We start plugging stuff.
Oh yeah, I did want to shout out some people. We talked about Jared earlier. He won the streamer best on stream award. He runs Jared's Game Shop. He does battle report stuff. Probably why he was so good on camera. But he has built some new half range tools on his shop and POI tokens. So we'll link that in the description if you guys want to go on there and grab those. Code XN1 rocks.
10% off.
10% off. I got mine. They're in the mail. I'm excited.
Also, Drew, he was in the Bad Batch shirts with Mitchum and Zane. He runs ASR Miniature R, and he put up his little recap of the weekend as well. And then we have our first tournament at Game HQ under the new rules next month, August 10th. So first Dust Bowl battle in a new and post Republic world. And then I wanted to shout out Big D's coming up also in Texas. end of August, early September. Caesar, Reagan, Dudes Fighting Womp Rats guys, they're putting that on. So if you can, you guys should go sign up and play at that tournament as well.
There's an open challenge to the Oklahomies. So get on down there.
The Red River Shootout they're trying to do. They got a trophy printed and everything, and whoever gets the most points when an Oklahoma guy faces the Texas guy, they get to take the trophy for the year, and then they'll bring back and do it again. So
it's cool.
Could be cool if we can get a contingent to come down and take home what rightfully belongs to us.
Yeah, and New Legion, I'm assuming, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, and New Legion. So
the gauntlet has been set.
Yeah, throwing it down right here. I'll take the best of theirs against the best of ours any day.
Zane, how about you? Any shout outs? What's next for you as we ride off into the sunset?
Man, maybe Crucible if I can make it happen. That's beginning of September down in Florida. Those Florida guys know what's up. So if I can make it happen, I'm gonna be there, Cab. So
go
cool. Take their trophy.
Yeah,
go
right.
Take
I'm gonna come get it from you.
Yeah.
Get you.
Yeah, I like Hot and Frosty, but I feel like it needs to be like you need to be like Legion Nomad or something like that.
I thought about switching up to a roaming Legionnaire.
Yeah.
It's like I'm all over the place. Like,
or Legion Ronin.
Oh, there you go.
That's copyright.
Oh, sorry.
That's Randy's.
No. I will take. There's that movie 47 Ronin, so I'm recruiting for 46 positions.
There you go. I'll be like a descriptor in Ronin, like
exactly.
Yep.
Well, great. Hey, thanks for sticking with us. And
thank you guys.
I think there's one more thing. We are going to be doing a giveaway for when we hit 100 subscribers, which we're getting close to. So if you haven't subscribed, you should, so we get there soon. And then go ahead and comment on a video, because that's how we're going to pull for the winner. So from this video on, if you leave a comment and you're subscribed, you'll be eligible for the giveaway. North America, probably, just because shipping scares me. But it will probably be some kind of core upgrade or expansion, because apparently we all need those now. What's old is new.
Yep.
So something useful, and we'll
probably throw a sticker in there as well.
Yeah,
so
maybe
I got
maybe some POI tokens.
I got a whole bunch of them. They've been sitting back here the whole time. I got a whole bunch of them.
Ooh,
look at that!
Yeah,
nice.
So
cool.
Giveaway, and then more giveaways if we hit various goals, and then I guess on Spotify just leave a comment in there. So for our audio listeners,
if you're audio only, maybe go on the Instagrams or something, and leave us a comment. Comment and follow. But cool. So even here at the end of days, XNO is still a game away. Thanks for listening, everybody.
See ya.